Okay, so I think I found a way to make my mic louder. So we're gonna have the husband sound check before we get started. I'm kind of far away from it at the moment though, so let me get on up in here.
Yeah, you're significantly louder.
Oh, is it too loud now?
No, you're okay.
Because I can bump it down a little bit.
I suspect it's fairly good.
Okay, how about that? Took it down by about half. Because I know sometimes I like to talk quiet, and I don't even realize I'm doing it.
That's just as well.
Is it better?
It's pretty much the same.
Okay. But I'm not too obnoxiously loud.
No, you're fine.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I thought 0 was as high as you could go in OBS. Apparently there's advanced audio settings, and then you can go in there and then adjust everything higher. Okay, so we're back working on this guy. I think today we're gonna start working on our mountains. I was kind of looking to see if I could grab our sky color and maybe go just a little bit lighter around in here, but I can't find the color now. It's back in my drawer of paint, and it'll take more than a couple of seconds to try to find it, so that's fine. So we're gonna work on, I guess, this side for now, if I can get the paint tube open. Wow, all of my paint's like just angry. So I do have some artist tubes, I just don't have that many. That was probably too much water that I just pulled out. Or water, paint, wow. Yeah, it's gonna be a day. It was already starting to be a day when I woke up, because I had to make our dough for dinner because we're having pizza, and I picked up the container that we keep the coffee in for my mom, grabbed the sugar container that was underneath of it, went to put the coffee container back on top of it when I was done with the sugar, and I couldn't find the coffee container. I'm like, what the hell did I do with it? It was sitting directly in front of me. It's one of those can't see the forest through the trees days. Alright, so this is, what is this? Raw umber. Yeah? No, burnt umber, excuse me. That I'm going to use for our base on this guy. Sorry, I need him a little bit flowy. So we need to get some water here. They said we could have an isolated thunderstorm this afternoon, but our real chance of severe weather today is gonna be tonight into Sunday morning. Yay, we all love the overnight stuff, don't we? So it looks like it could be a long night. Alright, let's go with that. I've already got paint on me. Woohoo! Okay. So, have to figure out how do we want to do this guy. So, I'm thinking Maybe we start down here. Although technically, I guess this one can be a bit thicker. Because this is our first coat, like the lines can be a bit thicker, closer together. Oh right, this shade's not probably gonna dry flat. This shade is probably gonna dry shiny. I don't know why so many tubes of artist colors are inherently glossy. I mean, half the people put high gloss glass like sealant on there. I would rather it be matte going on. I think it's a little bit gentler on the vision, personally. But then again, I have squinty vision, so squinty vision always with either transition lenses or prescription sunglasses outside. Now this guy is pretty silhouetted in our inspiration image. Now we're just using it for inspiration. I probably will keep the bottom of it a bit darker, because we're gonna have trees covering the tops of this. So, or like the top of the grass, like a lot of this mountain is going to be tree covered. But yeah, this color is gonna dry a little bit shiny, but I might be able to change that. As we go here, because I'm gonna mix some other colors into this. And we'll see how things go. This color is getting pretty dark as it dries. Definitely has a reddish tinge to it. So it is fitting in well with our other colors here. So that's not too bad. Although it's a little bit darker down here. Probably because I had the lines a little bit closer together. Alright. I mean, you can kind of see the shade difference between the two. Coming in here. Definitely see where I've started to put this in on this side now. I think this is the brush that we had to super glue back together. Maybe. I'm not certain though. Everybody kind of ended up back in the same container. Silly as it is, I kind of like these triangle fingery spots. It reminds me of the stupid pencil grips that they kept trying to make me use in school because I wasn't holding my pencils right, according to them. What difference does it make as long as I'm doing the work? Maybe I don't find that comfortable. I mean, if the work is correct, I'm getting the job done. Oh, you're gonna get a painful bump on your hand. Yeah, I've got one. I've got an indent there. I'm not gonna be a hand model. My hands are too ugly for that. So it doesn't fucking matter. I could never be a hand model. I'm far too rough and tumble. Man, I don't even wear my wedding ring. I have it, but my hands kept swelling and it kept getting stuck. I even ordered a replacement wedding ring. I have them on a necklace, but I don't really do jewelry. Whenever I have jewelry on, I'm like terrified I'm gonna lose it. As it was, the one job I was working, I'm like, I can't have an engagement ring that has protrusions up on it because somebody I worked with had a tall ass diamond engagement ring or something, or maybe it was just a regular ring, and she banged it on the counter or the cash register or something, and she didn't notice the diamond was missing till halfway through the day, and she has no idea when it fell out, and it could have fell out into a customer's bag as she was bagging their stuff. It was gone. I'm like, yeah, no. That's okay. I'd be sick. No. Jewelry's expensive. Like, I tried doing the ear piercing thing, it didn't work. I thought I tried it twice, but it might have only been once now that I'm thinking about it. I can't remember. And then I tried clip-ons, and those were fucking painful. But it's probably for the best, because I'm the type of person that would forget to take their earrings out, because it happened before. before they go to take their shirt off, and I just, would rip my t-shirt off and it would get caught on the back of them and then rip out of my ear. Alright, I'm just going to get a little bit more water on my brush because it felt like the paint was starting to get a little dry on there. Just mix that in. So hope everybody's having a pretty good day. We're having an okay day. What's the matter? Mother-in-law has a phone. She can text Russell. She can call Russell. She waltzes in and taps him. Like, that's not gonna be an issue. Okay. So we have to keep an eye on the weather today. And it's kind of concerning because we signed up for code red phone alerts. And the husband tried to redo it, and we still didn't get them. Yesterday, both times we were under a severe thunderstorm warning. We don't understand what the fuck's going on, but that's a problem. For us to all of a sudden not be getting it. And he had redone it with his cell phone to get the text messages, but then he said he had to go through something else. He did something last night that he had to do through Google, so we'll see what happens tonight, if it goes off like it's supposed to. I don't know if he picked up a different weather alert app. If this doesn't work, then we're gonna have to get a new weather radio. Which means we're gonna have to remember to keep checking the batteries on it. Because, if I'm asleep, I'm usually not when there's bad weather coming in, but we were on stream yesterday and I didn't know towards the end there that they had put us under a severe thunderstorm warning. I thought we were pretty much done for the day, or at least for that bit of time when things had finished off in the morning before I fell back asleep. So that was a bit of a surprise and a concern. So, I mean, it's still shiny. It's actually very shiny. It feels more shiny now than it did before, actually.
My aunt's putting Tessa down.
Oh?
Yeah, she started gasping.
Yeah, that dog's...
Yeah. She went from, like, hard panting occasionally to, like just straight up gasping constantly, so...
It's kind of been beyond time. As painful as it can be. But if doggo can't breathe, it's definitely time. Okay, so we're gonna get this side piece done. So is it the Code Red app that you've got now working supposedly, or is it something else? I didn't know if you grabbed another one. You said you had to do something through Google last night.
Yeah, I don't know if it worked.
I didn't know if you picked up a different one.
No, it's the same thing.
So I guess we'll find out what happens with that today. But that's distressing that it's not doing what it was supposed to be doing. Bless you. Bless you.
Oh, ow.
High allergies today. And we think we figured out the tree that's killing me, which seems to be prevalent all over the friggin' area, is sweet gum. I mean, the other ones bother me, but that one seems to be a lot more problematic. Who's he meowing at?
I have no idea. I think he's just being a spaz.
So P-Butt's doing P-Butt things, it would seem. P-Butt, buddy. Meow. We're gonna be serenaded by P-Butt, giving us the song of his people. P-Butt, the way you like to talk, we should just start recording you and turning your meows into songs. If we were a little more on the music inclined area, we probably would. Okay. So, I mean, it's darkened it up a little bit. So, now, if I can get the paint out of this guy. And get him cleaned up a bit. I have an old shredded wash rag. And I do mean shredded. There's strings coming all off of it. I don't know what happened to it. Because that one's not that old. It's amazing. This washcloth is not that old, right? And there's holes in it. And I don't know what the hell happened to this, right? But I'll have towels that are 20 years old. More than 20 years old. In our linen closet. That are just starting to get threadbare. And I'm like, how? What? It doesn't make sense. Alright, what color am I looking for? Alright. I'm gonna get a little bit of black. I don't know why everything's so loud all of a sudden. Traffic's picking up. For reasons. Well, this paint bottle's pretty much done. I'm gonna have to grab another bottle of black out of the drawer. Okay, so let's see, are we kind of... Meow. Why are you getting all wound up there, buddy? Yeah? I'd appreciate it if you could take the spazoid level down a little bit. Is that possible today?
Nope.
Who's on the front porch? Because you're digging at the window. Is it
a little frantic digging, I'm assuming.
Is it Mimi or is it Num Nums? Someone's out there.
Ain't nobody there, he's just being a spaz.
Okay, because Mimi was out there earlier.
Yeah, I got you, buddy. Thank you. Thank you for defending us from nothing.
You don't have to defend us from my anxiety, flamingos, buddy. P-Butt. You can stop now, bud. You can't dig through glass, buddy. It's not gonna work. I'm telling you right now. And I really don't want you fucking with that, thin-ass glass there, my friend. Because if we have to replace a piece of glass because of you, I'm not going to be happy. These are old-ass windows. In fact, the windows in our room, 2 of them really need to be replaced. But I was trying to hold off. So that is a little bit darker. Not quite as dark as I would have liked it, but I don't want to go straight up black, so we will do what we can with this. Okay, so we're gonna come back in. Oh, this is shiny. And I'm just gonna kind of start layering up some more of our line work here. And we'll see how we go. See if we can eventually get some of this shine out of there. I mean, you can see it coming in a little bit darker now. Just a bit. So this stuff kind of feels reminiscent of the Arteza stuff where it gets a little bit tacky. Because I probably put my hand in something that wasn't completely dry. The Arteza stuff's a little sticky until it's completely dry. Like sometimes it feels sticky until like overnight. Like the next day it finally doesn't feel sticky to me, but so this isn't the Arteza. This is some Master's Touch that I've had for forever. Now I did mix a little bit of black into it just to darken up our brown here. I kind of want to mix a little bit of red into this too. Just a little bit. Or maybe some orange. Like a dark orange. I mean, a lot of this is silhouetted pretty good in this photo, but towards the top there's a little bit of red to it. Like, not too much, but a little. One of the things about this being so shiny is that I can't really see where my other lines are, so we're probably just gonna be blending all of our lines over top of each other. That's fine. Like, it happens, you know. Although you can't really see our other shades there. If I tilt up, you can see it a bit better. So I definitely want to try to get some other colors in here. Who was it?
Spam.
Oh. I was gonna say, that phone hardly ever rings at this time of day. To do some lighter versions of this in the top half. What's the matter? That was awfully heartfelt, Momo. Hi. You're falling over trying to get out of your bed. What's up? Hi. Hi. Do you have to pee-pee again already? You do? You have to pee-pee again?
Do you need pee-pee or do you need outside time?
Probably a little column A, a little column B. Can you give me a few minutes, Momo?
Oh my god. I want some outside time.
Alright, do I need to get him, or? Alright.
I can spend the time to sit out there with him.
Alright. So we'll get all of the cats, all of the dogs, everybody's just being so much extra today. Though he's really upset with us that he can't have his potty treats, whatever that was, even if it was just like ground beef or ground turkey that we cooked up and put in the freezer. He hasn't been able to have any of our dinner. Peabut! Stop, please. Thank you. He's digging at the window again, and I don't know what window he's in. Like, I can't see him. Okay. Sorry, I just had to do a check on the weather there. Make sure nothing had cropped up that I needed to know about. Right now, everything's still kind of west of Oklahoma City. A couple things starting south of Oklahoma City, so still not really anything I need to worry about just yet. Because it's kind of going north into Kansas. We've had a couple of showers popping up near us, but right now those are still kind of just remaining showers. They haven't taken on a life of their own yet. They're still harmless. It's kind of weird outside though. When I first got up and took the dogs out to pee, like, it was kind of warm, it was kind of muggy, or I felt warm because I had a sweatshirt on, and it was a little breezy, a little gusty, and then later when I went out to check on the outside cat that showed up, we have not been able to convince her to stay inside. So I don't think she wants to be any part of insideness with us. After we had already decided we would take her in, so I don't know if she actually lives somewhere else, if it's too much male cat in here for her. It very well could be. She's very defensive outside, so I don't think it's gonna work. But if she is pregnant and does have kittens, my mom might try to snag one of her kittens when it's time. If we even find them. If she's even pregnant. She may not be. She might just be getting chubby from eating here. But when I went out the second time, the wind almost felt chilly. But it was still muggy outside. It was strange. Or at least it felt strange. Because it hadn't been that long. It's maybe an hour or two later, if that. So we still have some of our base color poking on through. Did the mail come yet?
I have no idea. I can go check.
I just don't want anybody else snagging it. get this edge here.
There we go.
Okay. Because I think it might fit in the mailbox.
Yeah, probably.
I do need to tilt this so I can see this edge here a bit. Alright. So now I'm thinking that I want the upper edge to be a little bit more slightly brighter. So maybe this one wasn't the one that we super glued back. This guy feels a little loose. Okay, so I want this a little bit brighter, I think, towards the top. Leg does not want to bend that way today. So I've got some yellows. We could see what mixing some yellow into this does. So the black didn't really de-shine it all that much. A little bit. Not much. We're still getting quite the glare off of there. I really only want... I don't need a whole bunch of this color. Come on. No, that's much too much. Much too much. Okay. And I have like an earth brown too that we can put in here. To try to tone that down a bit. Alright, so get some water in here. We'll get some of our earth brown. Just to lighten it a little bit. Alrighty. Okay. Alright, so yeah, that's probably not gonna be quite enough. That is definitely a lot lighter. Can I get maybe... It's like almost too light. That black mixed in is pretty good. I like that tone. It feels a little bit better. And I might grab just a drop of that shade. That was probably a little too much of that shade, since we're trying to get this shine down. Okay. So we'll get some more water. And then we'll be sitting pretty good here. Okay. Now, can I... Oh, that's a bad angle. Okay. Alright. Let's see if we can get that shine toned down here. I don't know, this color might be just as shiny. We will see. How it goes. I mean, we're gonna have trees and stuff covering a lot of this. Mountain area, so a good deal of this isn't going to be that visible. Like I said, the picture is slightly silhouetted, but slightly like a southwesty kind of color too. Kind of has a feel of both. So I'm just thinking if we can get a little bit of this worked in here. Which is really hard to see because of that glare. This guy's gonna be a bit dark. Kind of no matter how we slice him. Slice him and dice him. But we can always change that. For our image, we don't have to completely follow our inspiration photo because it is for inspiration. Okay, we're certainly not fully attempting to replicate it. That's a bit out of my skill set, to be perfectly honest on this one. Okay, so let's see, how are we looking here? So that lightened it a little bit in spots. I added a tiny bit of black to this, so I'm not sure if the yellow is gonna give this a greenish tint or not. There's a chance it could, I suppose. But maybe we're not quite the right yellow, so. And, you know, there wasn't that much black in here. It was giving us a little bit of a grayed down vibe now, but that's okay. So we got a little muddy. Kind of feels like I'm looking at a burnt ochre now. If that's even such a thing. It probably isn't. A very gray mustard. This might be a little too bright. But at the same time, it might warm us up again a little bit. Getting a little bit of the sun feel in here. Not sure if I'm gonna hit this with a little bit of white. Maybe a teeny tiny bit. Maybe. We will have to see. Oh, okay, I'm putting my hand in wet paint now. I'm like, why is it wet over here? It wasn't wet before, but it also took us a little bit longer to get through the other sections. Because we didn't do the other side there. Well, this might have been a little too bright, a little too yellow. Potentially. Kind of want to hold on to that darker bit there. I don't want to kill all of this in here. You all right? Do I need to stop?
No, you're good. You're right.
So we're gonna end up being serenaded with sounds of Russell in a little bit.
If I fall asleep, we'll see what happens.
Especially since we turned the microphone up, we found out how.
Alright, bonus Russell sounds.
So we'll see how that goes. Alright. I mean, that's not too bad. I'm still... do we want to go a little bit of white in there? Is that going to be too much? I mean, we've got a little bit of the glare toned down a little bit. But still there a bit. That could be my camera too, so. 'Cause I was trying to make everything brighter. Previously when it just felt really dark. Alright. So let's get some water in here. And get some more of that original brown here. I don't need a whole lot of it though. Did the dryer stop?
Not last I checked.
Okay. That is very, that's very bright. Kind of looks like a milkshake level shade of chocolate. I don't know if I quite want to be that bright. That might be a little too. Alright, let's try this. Well, that kind of isn't really visible, is it? I mean, it's a little visible. Almost feels like it has a purple tinge to it. That's kind of crazy. So, I mean, you can kind of see the glare of the wet lines going in. I'll tilt it so you can actually see the color. Don't think I have anything I can put under this guy to stably tilt it. I mean, my sketchbook might work out there. For that purpose. Let's see how we do here. Get this color. Kind of laid in here. All right. Just I wanted it a little bit lighter, but not entirely super light. All right, let me rinse my brush.
Little bits.
Who's growling? Hi, hi, hi. Come on.
Little bits.
Come on. Cal, I think she's growling at you.
Probably.
Cal, come on. You've got the spray bottle.
Cow.
Spray him.
Where is he?
He's at the base of your chair. Although it could be in the window, because Ed's in the window. Why are we... Who's angry? We're angry because Ed was in the window.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Because I didn't lift up the curtains, so she was trapped. Fucking cats.
Cats need to stop being so extra today. Sorry, Cal. I thought you were the target. Streaming with cats. Always an adventure. Okay, so, it graded a little bit, but I still think we're okay there. I think we're alright. Okay, so we need to... Oh, I had the what? I had it still up here. Okay. So I need to get a watercolor here. It's probably gonna be mostly white, but I guess we'll start popping that in. We'll use last week's color because this color is still on here. I forgot to clean up this palette, but that answers why I couldn't find this color, because it was not in the drawer. It was on the desk. Okay, and let's see, let's get maybe some gray in here too. Alright, so we need to take care of this guy. Wow, that vehicle sounded a lot like thunder. It wasn't. Well, it sure sounded like it. Oh. We're in a flood watch. Again. Oh, another earthquake in New Jersey. Oh my goodness. What is happening, New Jersey? My goodness. Everything's going to hell up there all of a sudden. New Jersey was not that earthquakey before. And to my knowledge, they don't do any like fracking or anything up there. To my knowledge. My goodness. Alright, so I'm taking our base sky color and river color and just kind of throwing it in over that shade of blue that I had kind of put as a placeholder for this. And this comes down to here, and you don't really know what happens with this, because there's going to be trees in the way eventually, and we're not going to see the base of that guy. Okay, he's actually toned down the glare a lot, so it might have been the glare coming off of him that was part of the problem. Alright, so I'm going to get some gray and some of this color. So this is like a light to medium gray. Doesn't really matter if I tell you the color on the bottle, because I don't know that they make this shade anymore, because the company got taken over by Hobby Lobby. I don't know if they just put their own label on the same bottles of paint or if they changed the shades. Like, I don't know. Just gonna get some water mixed into that. Okay, so this is that same base color with a little bit of, I think it's called Rainy Day Gray, mixed into it. That I'm just gonna line down here. It's a little hard to see it on top of everybody else here. But that's okay. Wasn't sure if I should have repainted over that base blue altogether, but I think it's kind of working out all right in there. It's not so bad, so it did darken up quite a bit. So I'm going to take some white and mix it into our base color here. The birds have been in the bird feeder that we attached to our window all morning. Like, all morning. So the cats are getting a little territorial over live cat TV. Alrighty. Some of this stuff put into here. Then I think we'll come back with an even lighter shade. Or at least we're gonna try. Give it a shot. I do want to Finish this guy off with white though. Or at the very least white tinged with our color. Alright, try that off. So we're gonna go white. And then like a drop. Maybe more than a drop. So 2 dips into that. Might have been too much. No, it is a little bit lighter. I think I want to be a little bit more white there though. So that is a little bit lighter. Get some more water there. So, I mean, it definitely looks lighter on the palette. Yeah, it is a bit lighter. Didn't fully look like it at first. Alright, and then yeah, we'll do one last white pass on this guy. So I mean, there's still a little bit of a glare there, like a little bit of a haze. That's probably the camera because I see it over the whole thing. Okay, let me see if I can. What the heck was it? Was that saturation or was it contrast? Alright, I think that's probably a little bit better. Or at least to my blind ass, it looks a little better. Okay. Okay, so now running out of room on this lid. So that's not good. Or at least clear space on the lid. I could put colors overlapping each other. It's just the colors underneath are gonna eventually wrinkle and lift up. Like, not the end of the world. by any stretch. I'm going to change that water in the little cup just a second. What? I'm scared to go straight white here. Kind of want to tinge it just a little bit. I'm afraid it might look a little too... I know this is ridiculous, but like part of me is like, it's gonna be too white. I don't think I really need to go like white. I might still. Just to like finish things off. So I'm sure the wind chimes are especially loud now that I turned up the mic so I could be heard. Sorry about that. But with my inability to project half the time, so I have to remember to cue my brain. It's like, hey, you're supposed to be projecting. I'm used to trying to be, I guess, small and not in the way. That sometimes my voice gets so quiet. In my head, it sounds loud. Like, I feel like I am being oh so loud. And the husband's like, I can barely hear you. I'm like, oh. 'Cause sometimes when I talk loud enough to be heard, I feel like I'm shouting. Alright, that's not so bad. I was kind of afraid the white would be too white in here. But I guess it's not. Alright. Now I've got two palettes in play. Arr! Where am I gonna put you? Wouldn't be so bad, but you've got a decent amount of paint on you. I don't really want sliding around everywhere. Alright, time for some clean water. If I wear my headphones too loose, then they feel like they're falling off my ears. But if I wear them where they feel good, then they start to make my ears sore. Like, because they're pushing against them. I've tried earbuds. I do earbuds, and then I get like a sore in my one ear on the inside of it because it's rubbing or something. It's annoying. Very Dodo, stop that, Windows 11. I don't need your help, Windows 11. I'm good. Just trying to reposition stuff. Alright. So now, this guy. This guy felt a bit darker and blacker than the other stuff did. Like than this side. Like this side felt more reddish. This side not so much. I think this side's like more shadowed. Potentially. So this is what I'm gonna do. And I might end up hating this, but this is what we're gonna do. Got some navy in an old Anita's color. Right? So I'm gonna take some water. And I'm gonna start to get some of this going. I do want this to be a bit darker. I know it's probably gonna look weird with the other one being a bit more shadowed. Or with the other one being a bit more red. Excuse me. But this is what I'm gonna do with this guy. I think we need a little more water on that. Uh-oh. I am not in a position to get that. I have no idea who would be calling at this time of day. Anyhow.
Oh. They hung up. Is this something about Knox, Indiana or some shit?
Knox, Indiana?
Yeah.
The hell? Well, that doesn't make any sense. Alright, so I think we had done a wash of Payne's Gray, which kind of has like a Prussian blue black feel to it, to me. With like a tinge of denim. So that's why I'm gonna take this navy and kind of get like a mid-range going. As sort of our jumping off point. Before I start adding other shades to this and adjusting it. And we'll see how things progress. I'm not gonna do it solid in here yet. let's see how things go. I'm okay with a little bit of that base kind of shining through. So I didn't do one solid color as our underpainting here. I kind of blocked in what colors I wanted to be there or close to the color that I wanted to be there. And then we're kind of going on from there. Now I probably don't really need to add that much water, maybe just a drop or two to this shade, so this shade's not too gloopy, glumpy. Like, it's still pretty flowy. But sometimes I do just to get a better line off of the brush. So that's being seen pretty good coming in there. I probably should have started at the edge and worked my way towards center. So I'm just now realizing my hand's going to be laying in paint. But, so much for me planning things. Planning. I'm anal about planning some things, and then I just dive into painting, and I'm like, oh, yeah. I mean, I do try to plan the paintings to some degree. To some degree. It doesn't always get that planned, but I mean, a painting for me doesn't need too much planning. A little bit. A little bit. But then sometimes I just want to see where we wander with it, you know? Sometimes it can be a little more fun just to see where things are going to take us. Sounds like the husband fell asleep. So don't be surprised if you hear him snoring in the background. It's still kind of quiet at the moment. Alright. That's not a bad base we got going there. It's definitely a lot different. I might still sneak some of that other brown in there maybe, but this guy is kind of further back. Right, so I might need to pull up the larger version of that reference photo, because I don't have it pulled up. I'm just kind of working off the tiny one in the corner there and starting to second guess my decisions here. Oh, excuse me. Alright, so let's get all of this kind of worked in here. Probably gonna keep the base pretty dark. There I go again. Thought I saw something in there. I got paint on my desk. It's gonna happen eventually, right? It is me. So far I've been pretty good about keeping most of it on the contact paper. Which has been doing a pretty good job at protecting it. You know, in the places that I was able to get the contact paper attached correctly, I've got a couple spots where the paper got an air bubble trapped under it, where we had the fish tank sitting. Fish didn't make it. Fish lasted almost a year. Almost a year. Alright, let me rinse my brush out there. I think we might have to mix either some brown into that navy or maybe some black. Let me see here about pulling up the reference photo here. Just have to find it real quick. Okay. Let's see here. Where are you? Okay, yeah, so you're a bit more like gray. Gray-green kinda shade. I actually, hang on. Let's see here. If I grab some of our base green here. And I mix some of our navy into this guy. Let's see what kind of shade we get here. Not all that much different than what we've already got going. Like maybe more of a jewel tone, kind of, sort of. I mean, it's a little different. It's more of like a dark teal shade almost. Let's see how we go with that. I don't know if it's going to be quite different enough. To bother with here. I mean, there's a slight difference. And I'll probably take a little bit of the base color. And we probably will mix a little bit of our black into it. And maybe a little bit of gray into it too. Yeah, this feels like a dark teal now. Or a very, very dark cyan. Well, I mean, you can kind of see the difference there. Kind of, sort of. Yeah, kind of, sort of. That's the main goal here. Just trying to darken this guy up a little bit. Okay, just a bit. Sorry, I was running out. I hadn't mixed enough. yeah, I definitely wasn't gonna have enough to get too far. Like the top edge of that's a little bumpy, so I feel like there's probably trees or something up there that we just can't see properly. All right. So I hope everybody's having a decent weekend, a safe weekend. Hopefully the weather hasn't been too crazy for you this weekend. I know some places are getting pretty hammered. But parts of Kansas got pretty hammered yesterday, and they're getting hammered again. So fingers crossed and good thoughts for everybody in the path of these storms today. Hopefully everybody comes out on the other side of it. Severe weather season. Which can always be a little bit dicey. So far we've been pretty good. Hasn't been too bad for us yet. We've got another round of potential overnight though, so I'm a little concerned about that, because it just kind of feels like it's been too good for too long, you know? We've been pretty lucky so far. Question is, how long is our luck gonna hold? Alright, so I feel like we need to go a little bit darker. So I'm gonna get some black. And I'm gonna get some of our navy here. Like, I don't want it to be black though. I just want to darken up our navy. That's the tough part here. Or will it look gray. That kind of looks like what it's trying to do. Go like a gray color here on us. I mean, it's not too bad. A little bit of water in there. Tell you what, I'm gonna grab a little bit of our base green black. That's definitely darker. Like 100% darker. It needs to be a little bit more flowy though. Or a little gloopy. Probably because I'm picking up the stuff that had dried underneath of it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna take any of that brown. I might. And just try to mix a little bit of it in. We might. Sorry, these are a little bit more solid up there. So I just wanted to make sure that they weren't too see-through. While I still had the color on our brush here. Okay. Still doesn't feel quite liquidy enough. It's still pretty stiff. Like, I don't want it watery, but I want it a little bit thicker, or a little bit looser than it was. You know, that's not looking too bad. It looks a little strange. With it being quite such a different color to me. The way the light is hitting it. So that's just gonna be a thing. That's gonna bug me. Which is why I might come back in with a little bit of our brown from the other one. And maybe mix a little bit of our navy into it, just to see what those two would look like kind of merged together here. I'm a little bit curious. At this point, what those two would look like. And Oklahoma's getting hammered. Or at least part of it is. That's not so bad. Definitely getting this guy a little bit darker. Don't know how far we're gonna get today. I am just kind of glad that we got the one mountain pretty much situated. That's a bit of the battle with the way I like to fuss things. So that's a win in the book. Right there. So we still got some like peaks of light popping in to that. Not sure how I feel about that. Feels a little bright. Didn't really do that much to the side of the other chunk of mountain here. Not sure if I underdid him. I'll have to go back and check on that. Sorry, having trouble seeing. My chair's not quite tall enough. Okay. So next I'm gonna take a little bit of our brown here. And just kind of see what that might look like here. So this guy's gonna, he is a slightly different color. It definitely feels a bit grayer. So I do want to see if we can get a bit more our blue mixed into this. Not really seeing much of a difference yet. Kind of curious as to what color it's gonna look like. It's almost looking slightly purple, which is interesting. Like, not quite a lavender, but I don't know. I don't know what I would call that. A mess, obviously, but let's see. It's gonna have a little bit of a shine to it too, because there's a good amount of our, well, I don't know, because we did add some of the non-shiny, so I guess now it would be more of like a semi-gloss. Let's see. So it definitely has a purple feel to it. Like almost maybe a black mauve? Look at us making up colors. I just kind of wanted something to tie these two a bit more together. They just felt so far apart from each other. But that brown mixed in there might actually help a bit. It's kind of tough because I just kind of want to paint it solid. So I have to keep reminding myself, no. Strokes. We can build up our shades on here. All right. This guy doesn't feel like he has as much ground to cover on him, but at the same time, he does. I don't know. He feels bigger. I know is probably just silly. Not sure if I'm gonna do the grade version. I might. Oh, you know what this feels like? It feels like a really, really dark maroon. Now that the light caught it a certain way. It does sort of have a maroon feel to it. Darker though. Like a black maroon. Oh, right. I mean, it's definitely making it very dark now. Feels a bit more in shadow, so I might have to do the gray. And the navy. So this was just that brown that this one was done in. This particular shade, because I just wanted to try to bring these two a bit closer. I don't know if I should add the gray. Well, we'll add the gray to the navy, right? And then we'll see what color we get. So I might have to gray down some of this brown instead. And go from there. It didn't get too shiny since we had that brown mixed in. Or at least you can see I'm working on the side at this angle, and I can kind of see. Kinda. Alright. So let's rinse the brush. Alright, now. Sorry, just updating my radar. And I'm waiting for a package too, so I was trying to see where that was. Let's see, this is rainy day gray. Do I have a darker gray? I have a charcoal gray. Charcoal feels a little bit darker. Let's see. See if it will suit our needs here. Come on. Okay. Alright, I need a little bit more navy. We're running out there. Okay. So let's see here. 2, 3. It does 3 glops of navy and 1 glop of our gray look like? It's definitely lighter. Okay, so what if we add a bit of our brown mixture into that? Is this the light color that we are looking for? That looks pretty close to that color. So perhaps a little more navy. And a bit more gray. That's looking kind of dark. Oh, that is kind of dark. Alright. Grab a little bit of our white. That apparently had some brown in it. Like, I don't want it to be super light. But at the same time, it almost needs to be a little bit lighter than this. I mean, you can see the gray in there. You can kind of feel the brown in there. But it's still just a little too dark. Yeah. Let's see if we can get a little bit more. Got a lot of brown in that white there. Still a little too... Well, you know what? Let's put some of this in, right? Let's see how it does. And then we can go a little bit lighter. If we need to, because now it's a very different shade. It's almost like a gray lilac. It's vastly different from that. Let's see, where's it a bit lighter? The whole thing's kind of a bit. A bit of this grayed out. Kind of shade here. So let's see how we do. Okay. We will get a bit more of this worked into here. Alright, so this might be the last shade we put on this guy. So I don't want to take him too bright. Though I did notice in the reference photo there is a little bit of a yellow spot. From the sun. So I might have to do something with that. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna go any lighter. Might just keep it this darker tone here. And just kind of roll with it. Let's see what we can pull off here. Cats are dicking around. Cats are catting. I was trying to figure out what the noise was. Ed's got something. I'm not sure what. Couldn't see what he had from my angle. And we haven't had any mice issues, knock on wood, for a while. So yay to that. Okay, it's not terrible. Not one of my favorites anyway, but you know, we're still working through it. We've still got a ways to go on this guy. We'll see how we continue to pull this guy together. We might, when we're done with this one, if I can find it, even though it makes me nervous to use it, we might bust out the wood burner. Maybe. Potentially. Haven't fully decided yet about that. Alright. So, that's where we're sitting with that at the moment. We dump our pink color there. Alright, so next up. Oh, right, I didn't do that yellow spot. It's fine. I don't know if I really need to. But I think we're at a good stopping point today. I don't have the other colors pulled out, so I think I want to pause here because I need to dig out the different shades of grass that we are going to need. So thank you guys for joining me this afternoon. I know it was a shorter one today, but it's okay because I've got a lot of different greens I've got to pull out for the grass. So I feel like this is a good spot to pause. So I hope everybody has a good afternoon. Stay safe with the weather out there. Tomorrow we'll be working on needle felting, migraine permitting, of course. So thank you, Loud Motorcycle. So that's the plan for tomorrow. And everybody have a good night.